Sometimes we need a little bit of comfort. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now for today's video, I thought I would do another remake of one of my very popular videos, which is just featuring books that are comfort reads. These are books that I look on my bookshelf and makes me smile and reminds me of how much I like reading and the comfort that I find in reading. So the first book that I would recommend you guys to pick up if you're looking for a sweet comfort read is this one called Very Sincerely Yours by Kerry Winfrey. Now I have Kerry Winfrey's latest novel that's out this year on my shelf and I'm waiting to read it because I just love Kerry's writing, and Very Sincerely Yours was published last year and I just really enjoyed it. So basically our heroine is a toy shop owner and she is, you know, finding comfort in bringing joy to kids by finding them the toys that will change their lives forever, and she is living a nice life, but sometimes she feels like she's stagnant and sometimes she feels like she is not as good as other people, especially her friends who have grown up to become these like very successful people or people that she thinks are very successful. So she feels a little bit down about herself and she ends up writing fan letters to our hero, who is basically Mr. Rogers but a younger version of Mr. Rogers, and then our hero ends up responding back to her. And so when I say he's like Mr. Rogers, I mean the fact that our hero is on a children's television show, he's the host, and he teaches children how to be good upstanding citizens. So she is completely smitten by him and she's so shocked and so surprised when he communicates back to her through letters. And then that's how like they build their strong relationship, and it's only until they have like the chance encounter to meet do they actually truly fall in love. I really adored this book, so definitely pick it up if you haven't read it yet already. So the next book that I would recommend you to check out if you guys are looking for a sweet comforting read is this one called Would Like to Meet by Rachel Winters. Now this one is kind of a bittersweet book because Rachel Winters has only written this book so far and I follow her on Goodreads, but I don't know if she's ever going to continue, but I really hope she does because I really enjoyed this debut novel from her. So Would Like to Meet follows our heroine. She works for like a film agency and her biggest job right now is to get this screenplay writer to write a romantic comedy, but our screenplay writer doesn't want to do it because he doesn't believe in romance. So like it's her job to teach him like romance and to inspire him and things like that. But our hero is actually a grumpy single dad who ends up sitting beside her in like the coffee shop that she frequently visits, and then his daughter is there too as well. And then what ends up happening is that his daughter becomes his wingman to kind of win our heroine over. It's such a cute and adorable romance, and I felt like that this was a perfect for holiday like read too as well, because I think like there were parts in this book that was set around Christmas time, which makes sense because this book was released around in December in like I think 2020 when it was actually published. So I really enjoyed this one. And I can't wait for Rachel to write more books when she does write more books, but I would definitely read this one again if I ever feel sad. So the next book that I have to recommend is a book that I've talked a lot about on my channel, but for newer subscribers, maybe you guys haven't watched those videos, but this is actually a middle grade novel. I just really adore this book because this book is stinking cute. This one's called Keep It Together, Kiko Carter by Debbie Michiko Florence, and it basically follows our heroine who is in middle grade. She thinks that she's gonna have a really great school year with her best friends, but then one of her best friends basically goes boy crazy and tells her two best friends, our heroine and the other best friend, that they need boyfriends for the rest of the year. And then obviously boy drama happens, and then our heroine just wants to like focus on what she likes and her hobbies and things like that. But now she's being told that she needs to go find a boyfriend, and she doesn't even like the guy that her best friend matched her with, but she's kind of going along with it because she thinks that this is what mature girls do in middle school. And then things get messy, but she ends up falling in love with someone that we least expect, and it was so adorable. It was so cute. There are scenes in this book that I reread so many times that I memorized because it was so freaking cute, and the ending was so cute too as well. This one is not even a 5 out of 5 stars. It's like a 6 or a 10 out of 5 stars. It's that good. So the next book that I find that is going to be a new comfort read for me is this one that I read this year called Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. Now this book kind of blew up on TikTok and it blew up on BookTube. Everybody kind of really enjoyed it, and I think this one is one of the very few well-deserved popular reads because it's actually really good. It's very thick, but it was like a slow burn comforting romance, and it was romantic comedy, so it was funny too. So basically this one follows our heroine who has a twin sister, and her twin sister is a psychopath. Her twin sister always like pisses off people, makes enemies, and like does not know how to live a good, decent, appropriate life. She has a daughter, and then the twin sister kind of just runs away and leaves the daughter like in the house that they used to live in, like the small town. So then our heroine has to fly into the small town and then take care of her niece. And then that's where she realizes that this small town, this small community has always been raising this niece, and one of the person that is very critical or crucial in the niece's life is our hero. And our hero is very like grumpy, he's very starchy, he's very stoic, and he's just like grumping around all the time, and he's always kind of like teasing our heroine and making her feel agitated a lot of the times. But it's an enemies to lovers romance, so they quickly fall in love with each other, and it was just so sweet to see them kind of just work together to take care of this niece. He's always grumpy about things, like he always complains about things, and he always says like, oh, I don't want to do this, but then he ends up doing it anyways because he's just that type of guy. So if you guys really like characters like that, then you will like this book. And I don't know, it just makes me smile every time I look at this book on my bookshelf, and I am totally ready for more Lucy Score novels. So the last comforting read that I have right here is the latest and greatest from Sophie Kinsella. This one's called The Party Crasher. So I've read a couple of Sophie Kinsella novels that was published recently. I didn't really like it, but I was really excited to pick up The Party Crasher and to read something that was very familiar to the Sophie Kinsella brand. This one was so adorable. This one was so cute. This one follows our heroine, who's kind of like the same flaky hot mess type of character that everybody's familiar with Sophie Kinsella novels. And she basically wears rose-colored glasses all the time. She thinks that her parents' marriage was really great, and then for some reason they decided to separate, and then her father is married or is about to get married to his new girlfriend, and she is reluctant to believe that her father is moving on. And to make matters worse, her father decides that he's going to sell the house that she grew up in, and she has this whole like meltdown, this whole breakdown situation where she can't believe that her family is moving on from this great marriage that they once had with her mom and her father. But like her siblings are just like, it's life, they're happy now, separated, get over it. And they essentially have this huge party at the house to give it like one last go. It's like one of those like last parties that they have to celebrate the life that they spent in the house. But she puts her foot down and she says she doesn't want to go. It's only until like the day of the party does she realize that she forgot something really important in the house. So now she can't like lose face. So she tries to sneak into the house while everybody's already occupying the house so that she can take back the thing that she's like missing. And then it's there where she bumps into, I think like her old childhood or high school crush who used to live next door or something. And then that's where, you know, sparks fly and they fall in love with each other again. This was quirky, it was funny, it was sweet, it was comforting, it was everything that, you know, everybody loves about a Sophie Kinsella novel. So definitely pick this one up if you haven't read Sophie Kinsella before. This one is a standalone, so you don't need to read any other books prior to it. But anyways, that is it for all the comforting reads that I have. Hopefully you guys have more books to add to your TBR for the next time you need a book that is like a warm hug or a warm cup of tea. And I'll see you guys again next time in a new video. Bye!